I got the call yesterday that a package was going to be delivered, and they would give me a half hour notice before arriving by calling me. Well, I got the call. I was on my way walking the dog, and I got a call, and they said, we're in front of the house. Now, I was a little upset with the delivery company already because the package had sat here for 3 days locally and not moved. And I called them and they said they didn't have my contact info. So I'm not sure what happened there. But nevertheless, my package is here. So I ordered a brush crusher. Instead of getting a full-fledged grapple, I decided on this, and I went round and round for a long time. So I'm going to talk about my reasonings for why I ordered a brush crusher instead of a grapple, and kind of show you my first experience with it. I will say, since getting a tractor, that my FedEx delivery guy and UPS delivery guy are probably a little bit more happier with me. Usually they'd have to take a package and either back all the way down the driveway or cart it down the driveway, and now I tell them just to leave it out by the street and I'll take care of it. So my main reason going this route is really mostly the cost. I kind of priced out the Cadillac of grapples, and by the time I priced out everything, I was close to $5,000. That's with the diverter kit. Artilian wants you to get their forks and their fork frame, so you don't really have to get the forks, but you need their fork frame, and then the grapple itself. So $5,000 is a little pricey to me, and I know there's a lot of other grapples out there and that they are less expensive, but you still have to get the diverter kit. You're still talking a good chunk of change, and I just wasn't ready to spend that kind of money right now. So it cost me just a little over $1,300, and the weight is about 215 pounds. I ordered this on September 24th, and then they gave me a ship date of October 2nd. And that was approaching, and then they postponed it to October 6th. And then I had a delivery date of October 9th, and then that was when the delivery company kind of held it for a couple days, and then I was wondering what was going on, so I called them. They said they didn't have my contact information, so I'm not sure why they didn't call the dealer that sells these and just get it from them, but I'm glad I called, and then they arranged to make delivery the next day. So there's not a lot to it. It came with just some plastic packing straps that were holding it down on the crate, and those are actually all broken. And then to assemble it here, really it's just going to be taking that stabilizer bar, and I think that's the difference between the original model. I did some research, and the original model did not have the stabilizer bar, and it was just the two jaws, or the two teeth. And if you had a really heavy load, it could bend your front end loader. Since the packing strap's broke, you can kind of see it's scuffed up a little bit. There with the stabilizer bar, and on the side here. And I expect it's going to get scuffed up as you use it, and it's going to get its paint chipped and scratched up. So, but while I got the thing disassembled, I'm just going to quickly put some spray paint on here. I have some John Deere green spray paint, and just kind of cover up those marks for now. Here's the manual, and they gave me the wrong manual. It says a BC 4250, and what I ordered was a BC 4200. I went online and looked, and I couldn't find a 4250 even on their website. I did find a couple of their dealers that sell their products that had a 4250, and it was a completely different looking brush crusher. So this one actually looks a little heavier and a little beefier, so I don't know if it's going to be a newer model or not, but I did speak with a rep. I emailed her, and she emailed me the correct manual. So there's not a lot to this. You're just going to put this stabilizer bar on. Just going to bolt on with 3/4 inch bolts. And it was a hair confusing. I did have to go look at some pictures online because there's a set of holes for other bolts that almost match identical on the bottom. So for a second I wasn't sure if the stabilizer bar was on the bottom or the top. So I'm kind of wondering if that's going to be those holes for another addition to this in the future. So if you've never seen one of these before, basically the bottom is on a hinge and it's just kind of free flowing, and the top gets controlled by your dump function when you normally have the bucket attached. And then once it comes in so much, it kind of binds itself on the bottom of your loader arms. So the widest it opens, at least for me, is about 26 inches. So I would think if you had a full-fledged grapple, I'm not positive, but it looks like those will open up more, give you, can open wider. So I'm going to cover just a couple applications that I'm going to use it for, and this is my very first time using it, so go easy on me, and I'm sure it's after a while you kind of get more used to it. But the first application is just picking up brush in the woods, and this is some stuff that I had pushed aside back in the winter time when I was trying to widen my driveway up there a little bit. So you can't tell by this angle, but I definitely have a lot more brush to the right of me, so it's not really centered well. So I'm going to kind of just do a dump here, see how I unload it, and then just kind of move over, pick it up, and grab it again. So just a quick trip to my burn pile, and then I'm going to try application number 2. So I kind of figured it was going to happen here, and I'm sure you can too. This is just a bunch of scrap logs I got laying around, and they're various sizes, and it's just for like some scrap firewood, outdoor campfire type of stuff. And I just thought I would kind of not so much plow into here, but dig into here and see what I could grab. And this is where I think a full-fledged grapple would come in handy, with a rake going all the way across on the bottom. So I'll give it one more try here, but I think you kind of get the picture. So definitely if you had something going all the way across the bottom, it would probably be able to scoop that stuff up, and you'd be able to take a load of it easily. Okay, now there's a good sized log in the back here. I'm just going to see if I can grab that. It's a little off center for me, so I'm going to try to just pull it out a little bit and see if I can get it out of the pile. So this application, I think, is going to work great. I cut down a lot of firewood. I work with a lot of trees and logs like this, so it's going to help me when I want to chop it up with a chainsaw and just move them around. Then lastly, I'm kind of doing a combination of live brush and some dead brush here, just seeing if I can go into my woods and if I want to clear out some areas, how I can grab things. So this application seemed to work all right too. So I know it's going to have some limitations. I know I got to practice with it a little bit more, but I think it's going to help me out. I think it's going to keep my pocketbook in check. So maybe, like I said, one day there might be a grapple in the future, but for now it's going to suit my needs. And I don't need to use a grapple every day, so I just could not justify that cost and then putting the diverter function on there. This is going to be a little bit simpler, and hopefully I'll have some more reporting on it in the future. I know I got a couple jobs I want to do where I'm going to need to use it, and we'll see how it goes from there. Okay, so that's a brief overview of my purchase, my assembly, and some use out of this brush crusher. I think it's going to do okay for me. Like I said, it's a lot better than the $5,000 price tag of a grapple, though it's going to take a little getting used to, and
It's not going to have all the functionality of a grapple, but for my needs, I think it's going to help me out. And maybe one day a grapple will be on my will be under my Christmas tree. Thanks for watching. Hope you subscribe. Take care and keep an eye on us.